Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your daily Baltimore sports podcast, and today we're going to be going over the Orioles game that just ended 10 minutes ago. We're fresh off the game. It's an instant post-game reaction. Literally 10 minutes ago, the end game ended, and I want to get this podcast recorded. My name is Nathan Stroud. We're going to be going over all that and more, and let's just get right into it. Going over the Orioles game, the Orioles lose 0-9 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They get shut out for the second time in the first 13 games of the season. And the record drops to 5-8 on the year. And this is the first time since July 8th of 2022 that they are 3 games below 500. They're 5-8 on the year to start. And it's extremely disappointing the way that this team has played. Obviously, today they get shut out again. They lose 0-9, and things really couldn't get much worse for the Orioles. Today, at least, it really couldn't get much worse today for the Orioles. Obviously, today starts off with the news about Zach Eflin and how he's going to be going to the 15-day IL with a right lat strain. So that's how Orioles fans opened up the day today, was with that news. And obviously you have the one pitcher who has been consistent all year for us. Now he's gone, and now you also don't have your 3 best starting pitchers on your roster available. And so that news to start that news to start the day was very bad. And then you have the Orioles game, which, obviously, they go out there and get shut out. And they also let up 9 runs, and it was just a complete disaster of a game for the Orioles once again. And I said it. I said it 2 days ago. When the Orioles won 5-1 in Game 1 of this series, I said, I want to go out there and see them do it again. I want to see some consistency. I want to see them string together some good games in a row. I just want to see them do it again. And then they obviously go out and lose 4-3. And then today they go out in the rubber match and lose 0-9 and get shut out. So, it couldn't really get much worse for the Orioles today, just to be honest. And obviously we're going to go over the pitching. We're going to go over the bats. We're going to go over everything. But I will say, just before I get into all that, it is still early in the year. There is still a lot of time left in the year. And even though things do look bad for the Orioles, I obviously still love this team to death. I'm still going to cover this team every single day. And, I believe that things can get better. It is early. Things could be worse, but also things obviously could be better as well. And that goes for every single team. But the Orioles lose 0-9. They get shut out. It's unfortunate because they also have not won a single series yet this year. They obviously split the first series against Toronto 2-2, and then they lost 2-1 against Boston. Then they lost 2-1 against Kansas City, and then they lose 2-1 again against Arizona. And in all of the 3 losses of the past 3 series losses, they've all come down to the rubber match game. They've all come down to Game 3, and they've lost all 3 of them. So, just disappointing and underwhelming are just the only words that I can really use to describe this Orioles team right now. And I'm just being honest with it. Not really anything happened for the Orioles today. They put up a total of only 4 hits and 0 runs across the board. They were 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They left 3 guys on base. But that wouldn't have even helped them at all because they still would have lost by 6 runs even if they got those guys home. But let's just start off with the offense. Gunnar Henderson, 1 for 4. Adley Rutschman, 1 for 3 with a walk. Ryan O'Hearn, 0 for 3 with a walk. Tyler O'Neill, 1 for 3. Cedric Mullins, 0 for 3. Ryan Mountcastle, 0 for 3. Heston Kjerstad, 0 for 3. Ramon Urias, 1 for 3. And Jackson Holliday, 0 for 3. So, just not a great game. Did only strike out 3 times, so they were putting the ball in play at least. If that's, one little positive that I can take away from any of this is that they were putting the ball in play a lot. They did ground out into 2 more. Double plays again today. So I think they are at 13 or 14 double plays in the first 13 games of the year. which is horrible. I mean, it's not good at all, especially when you go back to last season and this team grounded out into the least amount of double plays. This year they are on pace to probably break the double play record in a single season. So just a very opposite year for the Orioles. But, I mean, yeah, this offense just very lazy, very unmotivated. Just didn't really look like they cared to be out there. Wasn't a lot of energy with this Orioles team. And it was unfortunate because they were playing today in front of Michael Phelps. Obviously, Michael Phelps is a huge Ravens fan, huge Baltimore fan, huge Orioles fan. And I think they were saying that he is training in Arizona. So he wanted to come by and, catch a game. And obviously this is how we perform in front of Michael Phelps. So it's a little disappointing on that end. The offense did literally nothing. They scored 0 runs. Again, I don't want to keep reusing the word disappointing, but, it's really disappointing. This offense at least had the expectations to be one of the better offenses in the not even just the American League, but one of the best offenses in Major League Baseball. And they've been pretty much the complete opposite of that. They have not hit a home run. I think they've hit 2 home runs, and now they're past 8 games. And it's just a disaster right now for the Orioles. And again, obviously with the Zach Eflin news and everything, it just makes everything worse right now. And the state of this Orioles team, if you know the meme with SpongeBob, whenever Squidward, I think it's whenever SpongeBob comes back to the city or something, and the whole city's on fire. That's kind of like where this Orioles team is at right now. And I mentioned that same example earlier on in some earlier episodes in the show, where I was saying like when Grayson Rodriguez and Kyle Bradish come back, it's just going to be a disaster. And it's looking like that is proving to be right so far throughout the first almost 2 weeks of the season. And let's just head over the pitching real quick because it was a disaster as well. Dean Kramer gets the loss. He is now 1-2 on the year. Dean Kramer pitched 4.2 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and 3 home runs on an 85 pitch count, and his ERA ballooned up to an 8.16. So, not ideal. This guy is now the number 2 pitcher in the rotation, behind Charlie Morton, who is actually our number 1 pitcher in our rotation because of the Zach Eflin injury. I don't know if I would think Brandon Hyde's going to move things around and move a guy up or move a guy down in terms of the days that they're pitching to kind of sort out the rotation. The way that the rotation is ordered right now is completely messed up, and that's going to 100% need to get fixed. Dean Kramer let up 6 runs across 4 innings. Obviously, you just cannot have that. Ciano Perez, 1.1 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, a strikeout. A 34 pitch count in 1.1 innings. Ciano Perez, his struggles continue as well. He has a 16.2 ERA. Matt Bowman, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Matt Bowman, he's actually done great this year. I would probably say that is the only positive in this entire game was Matt Bowman having a scoreless inning. And then Colin Selby, who we called up this morning because of the Zach Eflin injury. He was the guy that we recalled from AAA. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts, and a home run in 21 pitches. So, he's starting off the year with an 18 flat ERA. So, not ideal at all. This team is struggling right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend that things are okay as they are right now, because they're not. And obviously, again, it is still early. There's still like 149 baseball games left. So obviously, there's still a ton of things that can happen for the Orioles positively. And it can't really get much worse than this. I feel like with the injuries that they have right now and with the way that the offense is playing, it does kind of feel like they are at rock bottom. You would just hope that from this point forward, you just hope that the offense can figure it out. You hope that the offense can, again, find some sort of consistency, string together some games, maybe get the power up, maybe get the home runs starting to fly. And then you also just hope that the pitching can just sort itself out and just bunker down and hold it down as best as they can. Mainly talking about the starting rotation because obviously I trust the bullpen. I trust everyone in the bullpen other than Cionel Perez right now. And I guess Colin Selby. But the bullpen has been solid this year. But, I mean, today the pitching was a disaster. The hitting was a disaster. And I'm just going to say this. Two things can be true. One, it's April 9th, and there's so much time left in the season for a turnaround. But also, there is justified concern about this Orioles team, and the path forward towards a turnaround does look pretty foggy and does look pretty grim. And I think a lot of Orioles fans are leaning towards the second option, where it just doesn't look very good right now. It just kind of looks like one of those seasons where you get plagued with injuries early on, and at the same time, while you're getting plagued with pitching injuries, your offense is also not performing, and you're just losing games, and you're losing games in a big fashion, and you kind of fall down this hole. And it's just unfortunate, man. This team has such high expectations, mainly from the offense, to do well, and they just cannot find a rhythm right now. And to be honest with you, this offense has looked very much the same since the second half of last season. Since like the beginning of the second half of last season, they just have not looked good at all. And going over something that I'm looking at right now, the Orioles' record since July 9th, 2024, which was the start of the second half last season, they are 39-46 since July 9th, 2024. That is not ideal. That is just not winning baseball. Obviously, that's 7 games below 500. And I mean, it's just not good. And a majority of this reason has to be with the offense just not being able to find its consistency and its rhythm at all. And it's just unfortunate. It's just very, very, very unfortunate. I want to believe that things are going to be better, which I think they are. But we'll see what's going to happen with that. But looking ahead, the Orioles' schedule real quick. They do have the day off tomorrow, so maybe having a day off tomorrow will just regroup this team a little bit. They can go over and talk about what's going on. On the flight back to Baltimore, hopefully they can try and figure out what's going on, because this team has zero rhythm right now, and I think that they need to address it sooner rather than later. But so the Orioles have tomorrow off. They play again on Friday, and they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they have Monday off, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then another Monday off. But they go back home to Baltimore this Friday for this weekend series against Toronto. This series is going to be in Baltimore. Obviously, we played Toronto very recently, literally 2 weeks ago in the first series of the year. We played a 4-game series against Toronto. This is a 3-game series in Toronto, and then it is a 3-game series against Cleveland, and then a 3-game series against Cincinnati. So we have a 9-game homestand coming up for the Orioles. So hopefully during that homestand, a 9-game homestand, hopefully they can find some sort of rejuvenation and energy and some sort of just passion within the team. Maybe there will be a fire that gets lit underneath this team during the homestand. Because obviously they're at home, they're going to be surrounded by their fans, and hopefully, that's all I can really say is just hopefully they can figure it out and figure out what's going on. And maybe if they can go, 6-3 or maybe even 7-2 over these next 9 games at the homestand, that'll be very, very, very good. And you just kind of go from there. You're gonna have to get just get a little bit of momentum, and then just ride that momentum and ride the wave forward, and just see what happens from there. The Orioles season so far has just been pretty disappointing. It's upsetting. It's sad. And when you go over and look at the depth chart of this team, obviously Zach Eflin, Grayson Rodriguez, Kyle Bradish, all hurt. And you're left now with Charlie Morton, Dean Kramer, Tomoyuki Sagano, and Cade Povich. And I don't really know what the fifth pitching option is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Albert Suarez because I think he comes back soon. I don't know if it's going to be just a bullpen game that we're going to have to run. But in this upcoming series against Toronto, on Friday, it's going to be Sagano versus Francis, and then it's going to be Povich versus an undecided pitcher, and then it's going to be an undecided pitcher for the Orioles versus Barreros. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the Orioles can get their first series win of the year against Toronto. That'll be very nice to see. You would love to see them go out and just win one series, and then hopefully that can be the start of momentum, and you just go from there. Because right now, I mean, really all there is to say about this Orioles team right now is that there's just zero momentum. There's just zero momentum right now with this Orioles team. They just haven't been able to find any sort of momentum when it comes to the bats, and obviously the pitching, there's no momentum there either because of the pitching injuries, plus just the talent of the starting pitching is just not very there. It's just not really, up to par and good. So I'm not necessarily going to sit here and obviously the pitching isn't an unfortunate scenario, but the offense, I mean, there's no excuse for the offense to not go out there and make it competitive or just, get shut out. Because today, obviously, the Orioles lose 9-0, and obviously you look right towards the pitching there, but I mean, they did get shut out. They didn't put up any runs, and that just shows the fight in this team right now is just not there, and just something is just not there right now with this team. And I really hope that they can figure it out sooner rather than later. But that's going to be it for today's episode of Birds of a Feather. I appreciate all you guys for listening along. I appreciate all you guys for watching and listening or whatever you're listening to, either on Spotify or YouTube. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys for just tuning in and being there and supporting me. The series has, again, been a ton of fun. I'm having a ton of fun doing it, even though the Orioles are struggling a little bit right now. I obviously still love talking about them. I still love these teams to death. And at the end of the day, we have to look at things with our glass half full. We have to be positive. We have to, hope for the best, because that's all we can really do here as fans of the teams. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for listening again. And yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna do an episode tomorrow. It's not gonna be any post-game coverage. I'll probably discuss something Ravens related tomorrow, and also talk about the Orioles. Maybe I'll do like a preview of the next series against Toronto and just talk about what we're gonna have to do and things I want to see. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode of Birds of a Feather. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you like this content, subscribe on YouTube, follow up on Spotify. I appreciate all of you guys again. Much love to all of y'all, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Y'all have a great y'all's night, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.